Okay, now in the last video on this green paint series, I showed you how yellow-green is generally the color of green in a landscape. And then I showed you my mixes that I use generally for all my landscapes. Now in this video, I'm going to take those mixes and do a blocking in of a scene, and we're going to compare this version that I'm going to do today with the last version using the tube greens. You're also going to see more or less my thought process behind the blocking in stage to get authentic looking and vibrant, beautiful greens in a landscape. Let's have a look and see how this little painting can evolve using the correct colors for green. Okay, so let's just go with the broad strokes of color, do a blocking in and just see what we can do. I need a little bit more colors here probably, but just to illustrate, let's just get the sky in, because I think the sky is important to suggest the nature of the light. And I'm going to take a touch of that primrose yellow and warm up the sky near the horizon. A lot of warmth reflects up from the landscape, so that's why I do that. It's our job to convey the nature of the light, and if it's warm, make it warm. Okay, the distant trees. Let's first use this darker one, work from dark to light. I put a little more blue, just top that up, get a bit of that sky blue in there as well, and just add a little softer edge around the topmost of the trees, make them more atmospheric. Okay, there's a glimpse of a distant field, so we're going to take some of that, take a little bit of that blue, put that in there. Let's get a bit of sky blue. See how easy you can mix those colors. They all come from your palette, so you know what's in there. Cool green. Cool sunny green. And we're going to head into our warmer greens. I'm going to just transition that with a little bit of that sky blue. Then go into the warmer green. Just a slight touch of white. Very little, so you don't lose your vibrancy, but you just get a little bit more of the opacity that I want coming forward into the warmer colors. You can pick a bit, some of that cooler, put it in there and just get a little, slight little temperature shifts to suggest clumps of grass and what have you. So what if you decide that this yellow is just too much, it's just too strong? Well, you can try a bit of blue, but is that making it too dark now? So perhaps the better option is just a slight dab of white. If you put too much white in and it's looking cold, put some yellow back in. Okay, you can decide, is that enough? Maybe you want just a bit more. The important thing though is that you don't turn it into a cold color. I would put some of that and just go back into my colors here, and maybe these little tiny temperature shifts show up. Okay, let's not forget this side. Let's vary that a bit. Sometimes you don't want a color here on the edge that's too showy, and you may just want to knock that down with a little bit of blue. Okay, so very different looking field to that. Alright, let's do that shadow now in the foreground. Here was our shadow green. Let's just pretend this is all grass to make life simpler. So here's the shadow grass. We need a bit more of that. So let's mix them up. That's about right. Make it a little darker. Yep, you can just add a bit more blue. Especially in the foreground right here. Alright, how about that tree? I'm going to take some yellow ochre, I'm going to put it in there and get a kind of a eucalyptus looking yellow. Drop of yellow there. Some shadows means blue. Deeper shadow, more blue. Few scar holes. Okay, now we need to get some of the other colors, the tree trunk, etc. Let's just mix a bit of burnt sienna into that sky color. Fence posts, yellow ochre, a little touch of white. Just a block in, we can fix them all up in the later stages. The pathway, I'm going to take some burnt sienna, a little touch of yellow, touch of white, a little bit of red in there, just get a lively little contrasting colour against these greens. I do want some shadow here though, so I'm going to put the shadow colour, which is some ultramarine, and get a transition here into a shadow on the road. Just break up the shapes a bit. I need a bit of warmth here. Let's just try to lift this. So with shadows, I will soften these edges just a little, because it's grass and grass has a sort of softer color. We can suggest a bit of a shadow there. Distance fence posts, I will use a cool color, but so that's a basic block in, and you would obviously develop your colors as you go, mix a few in. Okay, that is the basic idea, showing you mixing your yellows, using the primary colors and some white, and bringing some sunny life into a scene, as opposed to following tube colors and ending up with something lifeless, quite dull and cold. Well, I hope you got some tips and ideas out of that. I think you'll agree the second version with the warm greens and all those yellow greens and the variety you can achieve with these mixes is pretty convincing and also a lot easier than you may have thought. You don't need to buy all those tube greens. Just mix your colors from the warm and cool primaries and you'll be able to tackle just about any scene that confronts you. That certainly is going to build a lot of confidence for your painting. Now, if you want to discover more about your landscape painting, have a look at one of my free courses, and there's the link up here. And don't forget to get your free subscription to the Create Art magazine. You'll find a link below, and you can join that and get your free subscription and also see all the archives in that range of magazines as well. Right, so plenty to do and to keep busy, so enjoy your painting. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well. You'll see many videos coming up in the near future. Until next time, cheers for now.